Senate is about Nigeria and Nigerians.
Senate passes bill to extend the retirement age of staff of National Assembly service. And senators decry spate of kidnappings and killings in the FCT, invite FCT Minister and Commissioner of Police. Hello and welcome to Inside the Senate, a program that brings you details of the activities of our elected senators within and outside the Red Chamber of the National Assembly. I am your anchor on the program, Aisha Mohammed Ahmed. This episode of the program will bring you details of bills and motions considered by the Senate in the legislative week spanning 27 to 29 February 2024. Top on the list is the passage of a bill to extend the retirement age of staff of the National Assembly Service Commission. The Senate also held a very robust discussion on a bill to amend the Niger Delta Development Commission Act in order to add Anambra State to the list. For details of how that argument went and for other stories, join me when I bring you the full program after this timeout. Please stay with us.
Promote the unity, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria.
The Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2023.
And this act should be supported by all.
There are issues that we must use this opportunity to critically address.
We accord this motion the urgency and the necessity it requires.
I rise to second the motion.
The ayes have it.
Welcome back. In the week under review, a bill for an act to amend the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) Act to make provision for the inclusion of Anambra State as one of the member states and for other connected matters 2024 was presented for second reading on the floor of the Senate. It was sponsored by Senator Tony Nwoye from Anambra North.
Anambra State has been recognized or gazetted as NDDC, as one of the NDDC states, having been contributing to federation accounts vis-a-vis the oil companies in Anambra State, exploring and producing more than 150,000 barrels of oil per day. Mr. President, the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, RAFMAC, in its 139th plenary held on 2021 July 27th, approved more than 14 oil blocks, as well as gazetted Anambra State as one of the states oil producing in Nigeria.
According to Senator Nwoye, Anambra State already receives about 800 million naira monthly as a 13% derivation for oil-producing state, and as such, it should be added as the 10th state of the NDDC. Most of the lawmakers who responded to the bill spoke against Senator Nwoye's arguments.
This bill seeking to make Anambra a member of the NDDC states will make absolute nonsense of the concept of Niger Delta development. Because it will mean that now that oil has been reported to have been found in Gombe, Gombe State in the northeast will now be said to be a member of the NDDC state. It will not make sense.
The Niger Delta Development Commission is meant for only the Niger Deltas. But what it's saying, we can also create a commission for the southeast, for the west, for the northeast and southwest that are not central, that are all producing states. We just have the same commission of both. Sir, I want to say this, so that we don't make nonsense of this commission. The UNPADEC that was initially repealed to give back to this NDDC, we have to bring it back.
Debate on the bill led to a consultation between leaders of the Senate and the sponsor of the bill, after which Senate President Godswill Akpabio spoke on the issue at stake.
The word Niger Delta is limiting. That is why, even though Lagos is getting its derivation, it is not part of Niger Delta Development Commission. Even though Anambra is getting its derivation, 13%, it is not part of Niger Delta. And I think Kogi is about to produce or producing. And so it's getting its 13% derivation. And it's also a member of the host community, according to the PIA. Thank you. Not member of Niger Delta. Okay, so in other words, Senator Issa Jibrin is saying that unless we expand the word Niger Delta to include any state in Nigeria found with oil, whether it is Sokoto, whether it is Kano, we should call that state Niger Delta. We have a responsibility as lawmakers. We have a responsibility to guide and to be able to, so that we don't make a mockery of ourselves.
Effort of the Senate President to clarify what it takes to be an NDDC member state proved abortive as Senator Nwoye maintained his stance. Senator Nwoye further accused Senator Issa Jibril from Kogi Central for misinforming the Senate, a statement which the Kogi state lawmaker did not take lightly.
If that information is wrong, I will get back to Kogi and get the correct information. But that is not what we are saying now.
Efforts to convince Senator Nwoye to withdraw the bill for further consultation also failed, leading the Senate President to put the bill to votes.
Those who are in support of the argument that this bill be now read a second time to go for second reading, say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
With that, the bill was dropped. Still on bills, a bill for an act to make provisions for the retirement age of staff of National Assembly Service and for other related matters 2024, sponsored by the Senate leader, Senator Bamidele Michael Opeyemi, was passed by the Senate last week. The bill seeks to extend the retirement age of staff of National Assembly Service to 40 years of service or 65 years of age, as the case may be. You will recall that the bill was earlier presented for concurrence on the floor of the Senate on Thursday, 22nd of February 2024, but was stepped down due to opposing views by the lawmakers. However, on Thursday, 29th February 2024, when the bill was re-presented for concurrence a second time, Senator Bamidele noted that consultations had taken place and issues addressed. Afterwards, the bill was read the second and third time and passed.
The ayes have it.
Let's take a break here to open the Senate's notebook. Don't go away.
Legislative lobbying is the art of influencing legislative decisions towards a policy or decision. It is championed by a lawmaker or a group of lawmakers with a view to achieving positive objectives. It could also be undertaken by civil society organizations and other pressure groups to press home their interests and desires from legislators.
Welcome back. Still on activities from last week's plenary, the Senate considered some other bills for concurrence as well as motions on the security situation of the nation. Details of these and more coming to you from our studio. Keep watching.
On Wednesday, 28 February 2024, in the Committee of the Whole, the Senate considered the report on a bill for an act to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) Act 2024, which was forwarded for concurrence. At the end of the debate, the bill was stepped down and referred to the Joint Senate Committee on Judiciary and that on Drugs and Narcotics for further legislative action. Another bill considered for concurrence by the Senate was one titled Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons Bill 2024. There were contributions from some lawmakers. After the contributions, clauses of the bill were considered and voted on, leading to the bill being read the third time on the floor of the Senate and passed. Other bills were considered for first reading, and they include National Assembly Budget and Research Office, Establishment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Barrow Jibrin; Federal Orthopedic Hospital Management Board Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Umar Shehu Buba; National Population Commission Act Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Onyewuchi Ezenwa Francis; Agricultural Processing Zones Establishment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Olamilekan Adiola Solomon; Violence Against Persons Act Amendment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Jibrin Issa. Moving on to motions on the same day, Senator Nat'l Munir, representing Delta North Senatorial District, moved a motion titled Galadimawa Kidnap Incident Response and Need to Urgently Enhance Security Measures in Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria.
On the 23rd of November 2023, the Senate, via a motion, resolved that security agencies to fortify security and address the surge of kidnappings in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Notes also that the resolution was prompted by the tragic abduction of 19 individuals, including my senior legislative aide, Barrister Chris Agedi, in Galadimawa, Abuja.
According to Senator Nwoku, the FCT Police Command operatives conducted a successful operation on 24th February 2024, during which a notorious kingpin, Samaila Wakili Fafa, also known as Habu Ibrahim, who had been on the command's wanted list, was captured. Prayers for the motion were for the Senate to observe 1 minute of silence in honor of those killed due to the cruelty of these bandits, urge the Inspector General of Police to see to the installation of CCTV cameras in strategic locations within and around Abuja, highways, and other major capital cities to bolster surveillance and deter criminal activities. Also call on the Inspector General of Police to urgently increase security patrols and surveillance within Abuja and across the nation to proactively combat and prevent further kidnappings. Mandate the Committees on Defense and Police to recommend robust strategies to prevent future kidnappings within FCT. Call for the recruitment of more police personnel to bolster security forces' capacity to combat kidnappings and other criminal activities effectively. Urge for the provision of adequate mobility resources for the police to enhance their ability to respond swiftly to security threats and conduct patrols effectively. Call on the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) to urgently ensure the functionality of dedicated emergency numbers for police, ambulance, and fire service emergencies to enhance swift response to security and public safety incidents, and urge the police to dedicate a 3-digit emergency number for effective emergency response. There was an additional prayer to invites the FCT Minister and FCT Commissioner of Police to discuss with the Senate in a closed-door session on the security of the FCT. The motion enjoyed the support of lawmakers.
Security of life and property is very germane, and this is the federal capital for Nigeria. And whatever is happening here is a reflection of what is happening to your country. I just want to add that apart from supporting this motion, we must ensure that whatever is passed here today is effected.
Once the police do something that is commendable like this, it is correct that they should be commended. And the choice of words expressed by Senator Nat'l, who speaks to the fact that he really appreciates the hard work of the police by identifying the culprits.
A minute's silence was then observed by the lawmakers in honor of those who lost their lives in the incident.
in this regard is just for me to emphasize.
Still on Wednesday, 28 February 2024, the Senate entertained an executive communication for a request by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the removal of Babatunde Irukere as the Chief Executive Vice Chairman of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, in accordance with Section 8, 1, B and 2 of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission Act 2018. This was by way of a motion by the Senate leader, Senator Bamidele Michael Opeyemi. The Senate leader shed more light on the matter.
That the decision and request by Mr. President for the removal of Mr. Babatunde Irukere was pursuant to his own desire to further strengthen his administration and ensure that personnel and public office holders are reshuffled from time to time as the case might become necessary.
With that, lawmakers voted in favor of the motion.
The ayes have it.
You're still watching Inside the Senate. Moving on to committee activities. The Senate Committee on TED Fund played host to leadership of Alex Ikweme Federal University in Dukwalike, Ebonyi State on Wednesday, 29 February 2024. The meeting, which held at the National Assembly, was sequel to an invitation of the school's leadership by the Senate after it received a petition from medical students of the school on exorbitant and multiple fees charged by the school.
The prayers of the petitioners are that the committee look into the plight and cancel the degree of multiple payment of fees in one class by the clinical medical students of Alex Ikweme University in Dufe Aliki. Consider the exorbitant fees paid by the medical student should be brought down to an affordable rate.
Some of the student representatives present at the meeting wore face masks in order to hide their identities so as to avoid victimization by the school authorities. Chidera Justice, a legal practitioner representing the students, spoke on their behalf.
The school admitted its first set of medical students in 2017/2018 academic session. These students are currently in their 400 level, which ordinarily marks the 2020/2021 academic session. And distinguished senators, these students have all paid their fees for that particular academic session. The school also, in 2018/2019, admitted the second set of medical students, who are also currently in their 400 level, making it two sets of 400 level students. That is 400 level A and 400 level B.
According to Chidera Justice, the 400 levels A and B medical students of the school were delayed by the school and yet have been forced to pay for the extra years spent.
Distinguished senators, school fees for students are paid sessionally, not by exam, not by attending classes, but sessionally. That is, if you are moving to a next class, you have to pay for that class. As it stands now, these students has been in 400 level for 2 years, going to almost the third year. And now the school are saying that for that delay in 2 years, which is no fault of theirs, that they are indebted by the memo released by the school, that the students are indebted to the school for 2 academic sessions.
Another issue raised by the lawyer was the exorbitant nature of the school accommodation. He said that the medical students were overcharged for hostel accommodation that is not adequate to accommodate the entire 400 level students. In response, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the university had this to say.
Between 2020-2021 and 2022-2023, when the issue of payment came up, they hadn't paid anything. And they've been in the university. They've been receiving their trainings, like I said, outside the general problem of strike and COVID, nothing else affected the program. So they've been in the school for all that while. They've been receiving their trainings. We have no reason whatsoever to exploit the students, hiding under the disguise of hostel fees. These are realities on ground, and it is those realities that are informing our decision.
Some members of the committee commented on the matter.
When it comes to a situation where one room has to be occupied by multiple students, they share the bill. That's what they do. So to say that you're paying 300,000 naira a bed space is out of it in the first place, completely. It's out of it. Nobody does that. No institution does that. If you like, you can walk, we can resume tomorrow on this matter. Go to University of Abuja here, go to Nile University here, go to Blaze University here. It doesn't happen that way.
If this was easy for them to resolve in Ebonyi, they wouldn't ride almost 10 hours journey from Ebonyi State to this place. Maybe you contributed to their flights. So they won't, and you know how much it is. They will prefer to pay the school fees and pay 250,000 naira for flight is expensive now. So one, for the purpose that this matter has come here, I believe it is better we resolve it here.
With that, the committee set up a subcommittee to look into resolving the matter and report back to the committee inside the Senate. We'll keep you posted on further developments on the matter. Up next is our profile segment. Stay tuned as we present to you our Senator of the Week.
Senator Ireti Kingibe is the current senator representing the FCT in the 10th Senate. She was born on 2nd June 1954 in Kano State. Her pursuit for education started at Emoton Preparatory School, after which she attended Queen's College Lagos and Washington Irving High School for her secondary school education. She bagged a degree in civil engineering from the University of Minnesota, USA. Senator Kingibe started her career as a quality control engineer with Bradley Precast Concrete Incorporated from 1978 to 1979. She then moved on to work with the Minnesota Department of Transportation Design Unit, where she also worked as an engineer from 1979 to 1981. She returned to Nigeria for her one-year mandatory service year between 1981 and 1982 and was posted to work as a project supervisor with the Nigerian Air Force Base in Ikeja, Lagos. In same 1982, after her NYSC, she got to work with the new Nigeria Construction Company Kaduna as a planning engineer. In 1985, she left New Nigeria Construction Company to work as a consultant for Belsam Limited. Senator Kingibe then became the regional engineer for Lodigiani Nigeria Limited, Lagos between 1990 and 1994. She currently is a senior partner with Kelnick Associates Abuja. Senator Ireti Kingibe's political career began in 1990 with her appointment as advisor to the national chairman of the defunct Social Democratic Party SDP. In 2003, she was the FCT senatorial candidate for the All Nigerian People's Party ANPP. She later defected to the People's Democratic Party PDP in 2006. However, in 2014, she joined the All Progressives Congress APC, under which she ran for senator in 2015 but later withdrew from the race. In 2022, she joined the Labour Party LP and became its FCT senatorial candidate for the 2023 Nigerian elections, which she won. She currently serves as the chairman Senate Committee on Women Affairs of the 10th Senate. Her legislative interests lie in the areas of women empowerment, education, and security.
It is on that note we end Inside the Senate for this week. If you missed any part of the program, do follow our YouTube channel for details. Thanks for watching and do stay safe.